Hello and welcome to Lads Hour, where today I'm joined by Harry, Nick, and special guest Aidan Paladin. And we're going to be talking all about Desert Island Discs. Now, though I expect only the most cultured people, of course, to be involved with our audience, for those of you who are perhaps a little unaware of what Desert Island Discs are, or if you're just foreign and don't live in England, I suppose, Desert Island Discs has been on the radio ever since 1942, so it's 83 years old at this point, older than most of our granddads, and it's been a show where basically people of note have come on for guest appearances every week. Really famous, Christopher Lee, Michael Caine, Stephen Hawking.
I was about to say.
I was going to save him.
Was it Otto English whining about his choices, or was it somebody else? The fact that he had cultured music taste.
Chad Enoch face, yeah. And some fantastic guests on there, so we're going to have a stab at it today.
No, it was Sunder. It was Sunder Katwala complaining about Enoch's choices, I think.
Well, he complains about everything. So, we'll begin talking. So, basically, the choices that we will...
Yeah. I thought we were just going to sit here in pleasant silence.
And now we shall speak. So, we're going to have... I've decided, because there was some contention, are we going to do albums or songs? And then Nick corrected me that it's songs. So, what we'll do is we'll start with 5 songs each.
No, don't make me pick fucking songs. It's bad enough picking albums.
And then we will all have an album. You get one album.
One album?
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
You're changing the rules on the fly here.
So the thing is, I didn't know we were going to do this. I saw a random tweet. No one ever tells me anything, guys. But I thought, therefore, it would be the classic format, which was 8 songs. So I immediately tried to scramble my brain and get 8 songs. So that's why. Then you told me it was albums, but now we've gone back to songs.
I thought it was albums.
All I was saying is because
last time we did this, and I'll address last time in a moment.
Yes.
Last time we did this, it was albums.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. Well. Well, it's not last time anymore.
I thought we were supposed to be correcting Luca, from last time.
You've got to stay in charge. Don't let Harry bully you on this.
I'm doing my best, but it's not really working. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with 5 songs, because I know you love to talk about music extensively. And so if we have time for 8, we will talk about 8. We also get 1 book each, and we also get 1 luxury item. Also, apparently it's customary that you get the complete works of Shakespeare, so you don't need to choose that as a book. You've already got that, presumably so you can read The Tempest whilst you're trapped on this island alone. And
trying to summon up some kind of storm to wash the boat on for you.
And also you get 1 religious text. So I just assume it's a given that we're all going to take the Bible. No Talmuds, no...
Well, that was my second. To be
fair,
Qurans,
no Vedas.
To be fair,
Sanskrit tablets.
The Talmud is endless. It's fucking enormous. So it would certainly take up a lot of time reading it.
Yeah. Tommy would take the Quran just so we could critique it, even on the desert island.
With no one to listen to the critiques.
That's what I'm talking about. But I would go Bible, yeah.
All right.
And Powell picked Bible. I think he picked it in Greek. He could read. He learned Greek at like age 8 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he actually, one of the reasons he wasn't a Christian was he read the Bible in the original and said, "Well, this is wrong. This is false," which is quite strange, quite unique. Then later he became a bit of an Anglican. Anyway, it's not the Powell podcast. It's not the Enoch Powell.
You can keep going on. You can give your answers and what Enoch would have chosen as well. If Enoch was here today, what contemporary music would he bring?
That's a great question. Anyway, sorry, Luke.
I'm going to assume Sabaton. And Powell
will still just be more Wagner.
Uncovered Wagner. So I will just begin by saying, I'll start with a luxury item, actually. So I had to think about this. Do I just bring a limitless supply of Yorkshire tea bags? Potentially.
Can you have an unlimited quantity of something?
For the sake of this, yes. We're not going to get bogged down in logistics.
Let's just address it right now.
All right, go for it.
We've done Desert Island Discs before. However, anybody who watched that will remember that it wasn't actually Desert Island Discs. It was how Carl would kidnap Owen Jones, put him on an island, and turn him into a Nazi. And that was great fun.
Which is a lad's hour.
That's-
It's just
Was
not
it one of
the
these where
original.
Carl took it too literally by any chance?
Carl had a lot of fun with it, and it was fun, but it wasn't Desert Island Discs. So we wanted to have fun doing actual Desert Island Discs, because last time I didn't even get to choose my albums, and apparently today I
won't
fucking
either.
won't either. You son of a bitch, Luca.
Well, I'm sure I could be persuaded eventually.
All right, so you're going to get teabagged on an island.
No, I'm going to. Well, I was going to say I'm not going to
That's
take
the Owen Jones one again.
the.
His luxury item, his Owen Jones body pillow.
Right. No, I thought I would take my hiking stick that I like, my homemade hiking stick, because found a nice bit of wood by the Irwell up in North Manchester. Made a good hiking stick.
That's
out of
it.
Well, yeah, because I thought, if I'm going to be there for the rest of my life.
I like that you're still finding cool sticks, because I grew out of that
Yeah.
about age 8, but it is a great thing to find a cool stick on a walk, and you've actually taken it to the next level there.
The authorities don't want you to know this, but the sticks at the park are free. You can
Exactly.
take them home.
As a kid, I used to try and find gun sticks, which were sticks that looked like guns.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the little
You do that
branch
as well.
sticking
There you
out
go.
of them.
Simpler times. But Luca's keeping it going well into adulthood.
Child at heart.
Yeah.
Indeed. So
And it's frowned upon, isn't it, to have an item that would get you off the island? That's kind of not. That's
I
frowned
can't
upon.
take a speedboat.
yeah. Well, all I was thinking was, so I'm going to grow old, so it'd be very useful to have a hiking stick in my old age, and also probably have some utility on the Highland for beating wild animals.
Isn't
if I
the
needed to
assumption,
eat.
though, that you already have everything on the island that you need to survive? So these are just luxury goods to
All right.
kind of show people what your major interests and preferences
All right, well maybe I just want it.
You just want, he
Maybe-
just wants his stick so that
he'll be able
late
to-
at night when
maybe
he's
I
dancing
just
in
want
front
my-
of the fire.
If there's
he's
any
in-
like cannibals or whatever on the island, he'll be able to beat them to death with his
Right.
stick.
No, what he's actually going to do, he's going to like mime out the exact choreography to the Duel of the Fates Darth Maul fight every single night for the rest of his life, and I don't blame you.
And it would still be embarrassing, even though there'd be no witnesses. I would still
great
feel that
philosophical
degree
question.
of
And yet
Is it
he will
still
still make
cringe?
the sound effects himself.
yeah.
You have to make the sound.
Yeah,
effects.
Duel of the Fates isn't one of my songs because I'll just recite
It
it,
should
all
have been.
in its Sanskrit. It's in-
Sanskrit.
That's the language that John Williams.
Oh, was
used,
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the singing in Sanskrit.
Oh, that's
These
fantastic.
guys are nerds. I'm sorry. I don't know what any of this.
So are
means.
you.
I know. I just thought I'd try and get away with it.
Anyway, what's your luxury item, nerd?
Okay, well, mine's quite boring then. I was actually boringly. I was going to pick my guitar because Harry didn't know until 5 minutes ago that I actually play guitar, even because I don't boast about
honestly
it. I don't
didn't.
talk about it, but it is my whole life.
I want to
It's
hear
all
you
I
play
do.
your guitar.
Yeah, well,
now.
I've actually put out some tweet when I'm in a good mood. I put some tweets out, then regret later.
Nick, next Friday, I'll bring my guitar, you
Yes.
bring your guitar, and we can be those annoying twats in
Let's
the
do that.
office.
I can't shred like Harry. I mean, I used to, as a teenager, I did play some, blues rock, like Stone Roses or that kind of thing, but I never shredded to your degree. I did a little bit of tapping, but only very basic. So
Only a little bit of eruption.
I've watched your stuff. So I didn't go for the full shred, but yeah, I do play. And if I'm not playing, I can't really function. It's all I want. It's all I do. And I even play watching the TV or films and things, which is why I can't have a girlfriend. And so I think I'd be so bored without the guitar. But with the guitar, it'd be almost exactly like my normal life. A bit more outdoorsy, a bit hotter perhaps.
But with a
and
sea
more
view.
cannibals, but it would be very, very
If
similar.
anything, more social than your normal life.
It would be incredibly. So that is my boring item, is my guitar, definitely.
Wonderful. Would you take your guitar too? Is this where?
Yes,
this is
I would
going?
specific. My bassist in my band at the moment has lent me his beautiful Ibanez 7-string premium guitar.
Wow.
It's not my guitar, but if I had to take something onto the island with me, I would take that one because it's brilliant and I love playing on it. And after decades spent on an island by myself, I would have such an incredible repertoire of original music that I'd have composed that when they eventually find my rotting corpse, they'll find the enormous reams of sheet music that I've carved into the sand on the beach so that my legacy can be carried on.
Question
waves,
though. I would bring my acoustic. If you bring the 7-string Ibanez, would you need an amp? So would you see?
No, I can happily sit there and play unplugged because I'm not playing for an audience. The acoustic guitar is great, but doesn't have access to the higher frets.
So you just do the fun thing of playing electric unplugged, which is what we all do just at home. But but you wouldn't tire of that in the years on the island. You wouldn't think, oh, I should have.
Wouldn't you get bored of the acoustic after years on the island, though? At least I've got an extra string to have fun with.
I know I used to always play electric.
Another 10 years out of that extra string.
Exactly.
Acoustic is a lot more fun on your own. I only played electric for years. I didn't even have an acoustic, but then on your own, acoustic is better. So if you weren't allowed the amp, if you're really smart, you'd get a guitar with some sort of built-in, like electroacoustic with like built-in amplification or something. If you could only have one item.
Why don't you do that then?
No, I'd just stick with the acoustic. But
You stick with the acoustic.
but you're screwed. You'll
But
barely be able
wouldn't
to
I
hear
need
it.
batteries for an electroacoustic thing?
You'll barely be able to hear your guitar over like the waves.
I will be able to hear it. I'll know what I'm playing.
Okay, fair.
I'm dying. Ugh.
Again.
I'm still dying. I've been dying for days now, folks. You're watching the last days of Harry Robinson.
No.
What about yourself, Aidan? What do you think you might take?
I think the instrument idea is a pretty good one, but since I play the ukulele and it's more thematic, I guess I'll take my little ukulele.
There you go.
Yeah, and
that
then
does
you know,
work.
can play the thematic kind of music for that.
Now, you see, now I've just got in my head the image of like you three just strumming out on guitar and you just air guitarring on the
Yeah,
stick,
you're
like
air
a stick.
guitaring. You're dancing around using it as a pole, a stripper pole to dance around.
You see?
Freak.
Moving on. All right, so what about a novel or a book that you would take with you? Like, say, you've already got Shakespeare, you can read Hamlet.
And of course, you
King
need to give your reasoning for each of these. This is the biggest question, really. We've got Shakespeare. Yeah, the music, because you've got a bit more variety to choose from with the music. This is, alongside Shakespeare, the one book that you can read for the rest of your life. Can it be a full series of books?
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think that's
All
entirely
right.
fair.
That makes it a bit easier.
Yes.
Nick,
Well, I
I can
wanted
go-
to help you out after ruining your album
Yeah.
plan.
I've got two answers. One is I'd take my favourite novel, which is The Loser by Thomas Bernhard, who's an Austrian writer no one's heard of.
why does that sound so?
Yeah.
Like, that's such a you.
There's obvious jokes. It's even more because it's about a guy. There's two piano players and they come across Glenn Gould. It's a fictionalized version of Glenn Gould, and he's so good that one of them immediately gives up and sells his piano to a country music teacher and just gives up and never looks back, like I did with comedy. Just immediately just quits it, never looks back because he's like, I can never be Glenn Gould. The other one sort of tries to continue and goes mad because he can never be a genius and kills himself. That's my kind of book. So it's a great novel. It's sort of in
A suicidal, unrequited
He was
genius.
very influenced
Yeah.
by Dostoevsky, and to me, the great writers are Dostoevsky, Knut Hamsun, Bernhard. These are my favorite kind of writers. Welbeck, maybe, but to be honest, for sheer value, I probably would not do that because if you're on the island, it's a relatively short book. I've already read it twice. I'd probably go. I hate to be cliche, but I'd probably go Lord of the Rings because imagine you've got the whole thing, right? Because we know it's not even really a trilogy anyway. So you've got the whole thing. It's going to take you a long time to get bored of going Lord of the Rings with all the nuance and all the effort Tolkien put into it.
When you
could
say
probably-
Lord of the Rings, are you
Probably
including?
learn Elvish.
Are you including Hobbit and Silmarillion in that?
Well, if
No.
you're allowed,
Oh,
why
you're not-
wouldn't
Yeah.
you take them? But
I don't think that's entirely fair.
no, I
to take
accept
those.
that. I accept. I'm just taking the. What's known
I'm
as the
seeing as
trilogy.
a full saga, a full series. That's how I envision it. in
Like
my
the
mind.
whole Lovecraft mythos.
Well, I mean, that's all kept in one volume.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that would actually be quite.
Well, that's the thing then. There isn't a single book with like Silmarillion, The Hobbit, and.
It's all part of one overarching narrative.
Well, I agree, and ideally,
I suppose that you're being very strict
them
with
all.
the rules.
Yeah, sometimes you get a set
Being
that
a
has
bit
the Hobbit in as well, but I
bendy.
think it's fair to just have Lord of the Rings. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I would accept that. And then you've got Shakespeare, complete works of Shakespeare, Bible, and Lord of the Rings. You can't really go wrong with those three.
You've got plenty to be working
Yeah.
with there.
I probably wouldn't even bother reading them. I'd be so, you know what I mean? Like you'd start.
You'd fashion yourself a tiny little makeshift bookshelf of what you've got in the wood on the island, and you do what we all do.
Just leave
Just
it.
put them on the bookshelf and never touch them. You'd just be
Just
there,
play guitar.
sat there playing guitar, going like, well, when I get round to it.
Yeah, but I suppose I have read Lord of the Rings, and I'm reading it the second time now. But I don't think you could get bored of it.
Well, if you take the Lord of the Rings as well, then obviously you've got a lot of songs that Tolkien wrote and poetry within that. So you could take your
The
guitar
road
and
goes
you could
ever on and on.
jam
Yeah,
and make
that's one of Bilbo's. The road goes ever on and on.
your own
That's a nice one.
compositions for it.
You're absolutely right. But I'm guessing you're going to pick that as well. So
Well, I
don't know.
was going to pick that, but now I'll have a think about.
Now he's going to have to choose Harry Potter. His second.
No, he's going to have to
choice
choose
as
Game of Thrones because he's a big Nick Fuentes fan.
the thing with Game of Thrones, because that would have been one of my two obvious options. The reason it's obvious, right? You finish a book, it's completely over, and it's done, right? And you go back to the beginning of the book. There's no more mysteries anymore. There's no more nuance. Obviously, that's separate for different for different books. Lord of the Rings has plenty of nuance and extra stuff. But with Game of Thrones, it's never over. It's never done.
True.
You get to the end, and you're always left waiting.
Well, unless your luxury item is George R.R. Martin himself, at which point you take him away from civilization
Yeah,
and you
fine,
just
do the
leave
work
him
on
on
and
the side
you're
with
there
him.
with your stick.
Finish
that
it.
book.
Yeah.
Finish it. And he's taken his luxury item of a typewriter.
Yes,
It works perfectly.
which you chose for him.
But he can
That
never.
will be your
But even on the
luxury
island, he
item.
can't finish because he's a fat subversive
Yeah.
who doesn't believe in inherent morality. And obviously, Jon Snow should have won, but it's like, no, I'm going to ruin everything because
He needs to die, and then he needs to maybe come back as a wolf, but you'll never find out if he does, because I'm never finishing the
Yeah.
fucking book.
That might be the only way to get him to finish it is if you actually basically had him tied up on a desert island and forced him to work. 'cause-
Got him to,
Yes.
orate the novel
yeah,
to you.
right. Yeah, because I don't even know if he can get motivated to move his.
I'm pretty
fingers
certain
and
that
cut it,
he's
so-
got it in his will that if he dies before it's done, burn all of his notes so nobody can finish it for him.
Wouldn't surprise me.
What a
Wouldn't
cunt.
surprise me
Yeah.
at all.
Just get Brandon Sanderson or someone to do it.
Just get Brando Sando to do it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's picked up other people's work.
Yeah, I think
before.
even Neil Gaiman has said that he
Yeah.
could do it as well. You know, in between touching
Everyone's
women.
lining up, just saying, George, we all know you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
It was. I haven't actually read the book. I'll be honest. It was a seminal TV series, but it can
Up to a
never.
point.
It can never be up to a point being series 8.
Up
but it
until
can,
the Purple
it
Wedding,
can never
really.
be
Yes.
Lord of the Rings. So I was annoyed. With Fuentes over that. You know, loved the Israel stuff, but then
But you're
Then-
going after Tolkien?
But he
guy?
went for Tolkien, and I was just like, yeah, you've lost me completely. Especially when he kept saying, I watched the movies, like, it's a book. And I know I've just said I didn't read the Game of Thrones book, but when people just say, I've seen the movies, it's primarily a book. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you
Yes.
can't just say, I watched the movies are great, Lord of the Rings, but you can't just dismiss it if you haven't read the book. That's insane.
No, absolutely not.
Embarrassing.
What about yourself? Any book
Wait,
ideas?
so what wasn't? So it is just Lord of the Rings.
I've gone Lord of the Rings. I hate to
Okay.
be a
Yes.
normie, but yeah.
I mean, it's easy to say Lord of the Rings, and I would go with that, but all right.
Right.
So, I'll pick the Widsman, the Witcher series, Andrzej Sapkowski. I really love those books.
Yeah.
Ignoring all of the errors with the video games and stuff, I actually really, really enjoy those books. So
I like the games.
I've been meaning to get
I
around
like
to
The
it.
Witcher
games
3.
too.
The Witcher 3 is the only one that I've played, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all good. They're all good. Well, of the base games. Now I've not seen the TV show, so I have no idea what's in that. But I do like the books, and it's a completed series of fantasy
I was going to ask
novels.
about that. It's completed.
yeah.
It's
It's
finished.
been
Right.
been completed for a long time, and they're pretty good. So if I'm not doing the same thing and just picking Lord of the Rings, I'll pick The Witcher.
I like that you're just settling for pretty good. You know, they're all right.
Well, they are pretty good. I mean, it is not Lord of the Rings,
Hmm.
but it's pretty good. Sapkowski is a good writer.
It's a page turner.
When he wants to be. Yeah, they're fun. And there's a lot of them too. So there's a decent
Right.
Moby-
Yeah, there's the 5 in the main serialized series. There's 2 short story books.
Yeah, collections.
I've read the
anthologies,
2 short story collections, which were both very good.
Destiny and Last Wish. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think he's done like 1 or 2 extras. If the series is ongoing, does a seagull drop it onto your island when the latest one is published?
I would like to think so.
I would like to
Oh,
think.
like to think
okay.
so.
Stormlight Archive then. Or
can't see.
I'd go with maybe Stormlight Archive then. But I do love the Witcher books. Stormlight Archive is ongoing. That is Brandon Sanderson. So
Normally I can see the chat abusing me on here, but it's not working, so I can't tell what they think to any of that. But
Yeah,
I think-
Jack, get the chat up on the screen for us.
I think Moby Dick would be another good choice because it's so big and it's about seafaring. So that's another, Melville. Have you read Moby Dick? I've actually read all of it. It's quite a slog at times. But I only say that because it's such a slog. And a lot of it's about the weight of the whale's head, and you'd be like, why am I reading this crap? on a
Right.
desert
No,
island?
I've not read
But
it
some of it's-
actually.
But I'll still stick with Lord of the Rings.
Well, I was going to say Lord of the Rings, and obviously that would be my first answer, but for the sake of variety, so I'm not giving the same one, I think I would actually take with me, like, Thomas Mallory's Death of Arthur. And just take, like, all the Arthurian legends.
Why is someone saying I love Jews when I didn't say anything like close to that? These people are insane.
Sometimes, Nick, you just ignore the bait.
I think I'll ignore that one, yeah.
You just don't.
I'll ignore that one, having addressed it now.
Yes, I retrospectively.
We're ignoring you.
Well, I mean, I won't continue to dwell on it.
I'm going to
as
have
long as I
to
normally
turn
would.
my back on you now. There you go.
Yeah, so I think I'd take the Arthur stuff. You know, from these islands,
I'm now
it would
covering
feel
up the chat.
very, very homely.
Someone just abuse. Sorry, carry on.
I was just saying, it's very homely, very epic. You know, wrapped in all the myth. I don't think you can really go wrong with the Arthur mythos. So I'd probably go with that. What about yourself, Harry?
I'm going to
brand.
steal... what?
No, I think it's very on brand for Luca to go with the Arthur mythos. It's like
Yeah.
a very kind of Lotus Eater's choice, but go on.
I'm going to steal Bo's choice from last time because I think it was a rather genius one, which is the entire unabridged decline and fall of the Roman Empire by Edward Gibbon. Because that's like 7 thick volumes long. Alongside Shakespeare, alongside the Bible, I'm never going to get bored of any of those. Because Shakespeare covers fiction, right? The Bible covers theology. Edward Gibbon covers history.
Yeah.
I'm sorted.
All one ever really.
Secondary choices were available, but I'm not allowed to say.
Do you know what another good one would be? The full dictionary. You know, like the full thing that's like massive. You'd
That
learn
sounds
every word.
fucking horrible.
To learn all of those words and have no human being
Why
to
would you
communicate
do that?
That's the most autistic choice. I'm just going to learn every word
It's terrible.
for no reason.
You're gonna kill myself.
So you can say it to the seals.
I just like words. I don't.
So you can try and negotiate with the cannibals using great verbosity.
I've got an English is my topic. You know, that's all I ever did. So
Right.
I'm into words and stuff.
Even on an
Amazing.
island.
Just me nerdishly learning. Yeah, they'll be amazed with my vocabulary if I ever get out of it.
Yep.
If you would like to see the full version of this premium video, please head over to lotuseaters.com and subscribe to gain full access to all of our premium content.